Alright, we're back. Thanks for tuning in. So this is part 2 of the uh, Megaman X2 playthrough. So on the last playthrough, we beat the first 4 Mavericks and one of the X-Hunters, got back Case 0, and collected some items along with the arm upgrade. So next we're going to pick up that heart tank from Neil Gator's stage that we missed earlier. And then we will go after our next Maverick. So you have to go all the way back to right after the right armor segment to get to the hard tank. So now the actual way that you're supposed to get this is to take fully charged flame burner, dash jump. Oh, nope. Hold on. Try that again. There we go. Just like that. And yes, if I had delayed that by even like a frame or so, I probably would have died on those spikes. And as you can see, we have Zero's severed torso right there in our inventory as well. Apparently we carry him around with us. Alright, so now that we've gotten all the items we can get from the defeated Maverick stages, let's go to our next Maverick. So let's see. Let's go to Overdrive Ostrich. Now we're breaking weakness order because Overdrive Ostrich is actually weak to Crystal Snell's weapon, but he's fairly easy to beat with just Mega Buster anyway, and he has the leg upgrade, which is a really important upgrade that I really want to get around to getting. Also, his weapon is very good against Silvus, which is someone who I do not want to fight without a weapon that he's weak against, because especially his random X-Hunter form is a pain in the neck to fight. Now see, if an X-Hunter were here, he would actually be back here. Right at the beginning of the stage. But there's no X-Hunters here, so we don't actually need to worry about it. No, you know what? Better double check, because I don't remember. My memory is faulty. Yeah, no X-Hunters. I think one went to Magna Centipede and the other one to Crystal Snails, if I remember correctly, but now we get to the second vehicle of Megaman X2, the Ride Chaser. This is another one of those hidden recharge rooms that you need the Silk Shot to get to. Try this again. Whatever. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to ride a Ride Chaser through the stage, or through the base, up here, and over there, but you don't really actually need to have one if you have expendable lives and the speed burner, because you can just jump dash to the heart tank and then suicide. Whoa! That life was useless. Alright, so now and now the light capsule for the leg upgrade is right here. Alright. And now we have the air dash. Once again, very useful ability. Now, the rules for aerial maneuvers in the X series is that you are only allowed to perform one aerial maneuver at a time. So a dash jump is actually considered an aerial maneuver. Air dashing is an aerial maneuver. So you can only do a dash jump or a dash then air dash. You can't do both. Now, a fully charged speed booster or speed burner is not considered an aerial maneuver. But good luck charging two of them in the span of one jump. And definitely one of the most dramatic boss entrances. Surprising he hasn't done his jumping swan with the... Not that I'm complaining. Oh, there he goes. I was wondering if he was going to do that move. Whoop. And every time you scroll him off screen, he dashes into the background and comes charging. There we go. Alright, 1 down, 3 to go. Technically 6, or technically 5. But we've still got the other 2 X-Hunters to fight. Okay, so now we're going back to weakness order. So, Overdrive Ostrich or Wire Sponge is actually weak to Overdrive Ostrich's weapons, but we've already killed him. So next we are going to... next we're going to take a quick detour, because I need to reset the X-Hunters so that one of them shows up on Silk Moth, or else, or Morph Moth, otherwise they're going to both leave, and then we're going to have to fight Zero. And we don't want that to happen. Alright, try this again. There we go. Alright. Oh, even better. Surge just showed up there, so we can fight him now. So Morph Moth is weak to the Flame Burner, or Speed Burner, and Surge is weak to the Sonic Slicer, so you don't even have to use the same ammo. Now, both the items in Morphemon's stage are right at the beginning, but we can't get the second one until after we kill Crystal Snail, because we need Crystal Snail, or the Crystal Hunter, to freeze the guy that was standing right here so that we can get up the top to get the Heart Tank. So, but we can get the armor upgrade, which is right here. Now, this is one of the most annoying items in the game. Well, kind of. It does the damage reduction that the armor upgrade does, which is cool. And it gives you the Giga Crash, which is a full-screen attack. The problem is, it takes a lot of damage to recharge the Giga attack, and you only get one shot, and it does not refill on game over. Oh, and normal weapon energy also does not recharge the Giga attack. It is only recharged by taking damage. And here we meet the Parasite. You can only damage it by shooting it right in the center of the chest where the Parasite nests. There we go. And then it pops out, and you have a few seconds to kill it before it reanimates another body. Whoa, that was some lag. There we go. Wow. Where's that lag coming from? What the heck? That was weird. Oh yes, and little baby parasites latch onto you and actually they latch onto you and make you do random things, either constantly move, constantly jump, constantly fire. That could be any number of things. Alright, so now we go fight Surges. This is going to be annoying. Now see, the thing of it is, Surges has a little shield thing. That he puts up. That makes him completely immune to damage. Unless you're standing right on top of him on his little platform. That's not good. There we go. Alright, that one's down. And for beating Surges, we get Zero's Severed Head. Yay. And critical health. But the more important part is we have Zero's head. And that little ping sound means that the Giga attack is primed and ready to go. Like I said, it takes a lot of damage to charge that stupid thing up. And as you can see, like I said, the parasites don't actually hurt you, but they cause you to go into harm's way once they actually latch onto you. Oh yes, and we have another one. Because what's a good mini-boss that doesn't show up twice? Only this time, gravity works against you. Thankfully, I'll be able to kill this guy fast. Alright, so time for the boss. Now, Morphmoth is actually pretty easy, but he is a two-stage boss. First stage, you see, is the little larva form, where all he does is he sucks up, you just torch him, he swings back and forth, and he throws out trash. And he also spins around on the ground, rooting up more trash. And he has this little whirlwind vacuum, and then once you get him down to half health, he molts into the real Morphmoth. He no longer gets set on fire in an adorable little fashion, but instead just gets hit stun until he dies. Alright, now we get the Silk Shaft, which is very useful for when you need to recharge. And if Agile doesn't show up where I want him to, I will show you. Oh no, Agile's at Magma Centipede stage, so we're going to go and murder him now. And get the last piece of Zero. And then I'll show you how you can recharge with the Silk Shaft. Now this stage is interesting because it's also a kind of a stealth stage. Because there's these little spotlights throughout the stage that set off the defenses and drop platforms out from underneath you when they get set off. And it's really annoying. Because you need certain platforms to stay where they are so that you can get the items in the stage. For example, right here, we have the heart tank. Oh yes, and by the way, these things can crush you. And then over here is the sub-tank, which thankfully does not require the alarm to be not set off to collect. Okay. So let's see here. And now we get the first boss, the wireframe sword. I think this thing's actually weak to bubbles, if I remember correctly. Only the blue section of it is vulnerable. Every other part of it is, or the green section, the blade section, is actually immune to damage. I want to try to avoid setting off the alarm here. Oh, crap. Because now we need to run to get to the X-Hunter door. There we go. Because otherwise it could have been broken off, and then that would have been annoying. Alright, so time to fight Agile. Agile is actually weak to the Magnet Mine, which is what you get from Magnet Centipede, so we're just going to fight him with the X-Buster. He's annoying, as you can see. Run down to half health. By the way, don't get used to fighting him like this. Surges and Agile actually change up their pattern when you fight them the second time in the Fortress stages. If you saw the Megaman 4 minus Infinity that I did last week, you would Surges fights like the second boss of the Cossack stages, and Agile fights like the third boss. But now we have all three pieces of Zero, so we don't have to worry about having to fight Zero at the end of the game. And now we have the mini-boss. Now this guy is interesting. If you remember, you saw that little scan item, the little scanner, while I was frantically dashing through the falling blocks. If it catches you, it scans you. And it can scan you up to, I think, 3 times. And each time it scans you, it increases the difficulty of this mini-boss. It increases its health, increases the number of attacks it can do, and the amount of damage it does. It also changes the colors. I know the first scan turns it blue, the second scan turns it red, or maybe purple, and I think there's a red mode as well. But as you can see, since it didn't scan me at all, this thing is incredibly weak and predictable. Alright, now at that point, the alarm just goes off and stays going off. Now, Morph Moth is weak to the Silk Shot, so let's get that ready. We don't need it. And Morph Moth is another one of those very easy, very pattern-friendly bosses when you have his weakness. So if you don't have his weakness, he is pain. But since you have his weakness, it breaks his tail, and it makes him... and it puts him into a very specific pattern, where he will just teleport around, and all you have to do is just whack him with the Silk Shot every time he shows up. And then he'll just teleport away, and just shoot him again. When he gets up in the corner, you just fire a shot diagonally across from him and let him get hit with the shrapnel. Now, if we didn't have his weakness, Magna Centipede's tail actually has an ability where if he grabs you with it, he locks your abilities, whether it's dashing, firing, jumping, moving. So you definitely want to come in with his weakness unless you're very good at dodging his little ninja moves. Otherwise, he will just slowly lock you down one ability at a time until you can't do anything, and he'll just kill you. Alright, now we have the Megaman, which is the weakness of Crystal Snow. And more clocks. Alright, now, before we go to Crystal Snail, let's actually go back to Bubble Trap stage, so I can show you off one of those recharge rooms. Oh yeah, and also, like I said, this thing just dies to... flat out dies to the, friggin' Sonic Slicer. Now, notice, you saw earlier, a moment ago when I had the Soul Shot selected, pulled that huge swarm of junk to me. But when you fire in here, nothing happens. But if I fire out here, I'm actually using to actually fire something. Well, that's when you charge it up in one of these rooms. Oh, look. Energy. Oh, look. More energy. And now we are completely full up on all of our sub-tanks. So let's get out of here and go to Crystal Snail. So all we have left is one arrow piece and two heart tanks. So we need two heart tanks and yeah, the head piece. So we'll be able to get the head piece and one heart tank here in Crystal Snail. And after we beat Crystal Snail, we'll be able to get the last heart piece from Morphemoth stage. No, we can't go down here yet. We need to get right up. There we go. Alright. So, not quite. Let's try that again. But yes, that's how you have to get the heart tank, is you need to suicide a ride armor with strike chain equipped. Fortunately, the ride armor actually respawns, so it's not like you lost anything. body armor there for a moment. Now, if we hadn't actually killed the X-Hunter, or killed Agile yet, we would actually have to go here to fight the final X-Hunter. And he's up at the top. Up there, see? Nope, and I just lost my body armor. Hang on, gotta go get it back. I am not going through this level naked. If you know what you're doing, you can actually take a ride armor almost all the way up to the boss. Unfortunately, I screwed it up. Oh well, that's fine. There's no real benefit of taking it past this point anyway. Just one thing was weak to speed burning, but I guess it was something else. I can't remember. Oh man, so much lava. I know, there's no way to destroy those stupid little orbit things. There we go. But it's all dead now. And down here is the final piece of armor. By the way, that is complete lies. The radar option, as it's so called, for the helmet piece does not actually use energy at all. It has an energy meter, but it doesn't do anything. Or it doesn't use anything. It's also completely useless. It shows you hidden passages, but there are so few hidden passages that are actually worth looking for. Though, one thing it will do is, if you go into one of the recharge rooms, like I showed you earlier, then it will actually, the radar option will actually return a hit, like for example, right in here. So it's saying that there's something in here. And you know, the silk shot doesn't do anything. But all it does is gives you weapon energy. Yeah, there are weapon recharge rooms and there are life recharge rooms. Life recharge rooms are significantly more useful than the weapon ones because your weapon energy recharges every stage anyway. And now we are at the boss. Now, Crystal Snail is a funny guy, because the way he works is he slows down time, but he can only do it while he's inside his shell. So, the way you get him out of his shell is you use the Megaman. like so. There we go. And then once he's out of his shell, he will try to jump back into it. Which you can stop by dashing into it and knocking it all over the place. You have to be right on top of it to actually be able to reconnect with the shell. And of course, you can kill him while he's outside the shell, and I believe the shell actually stays out if you do. We'll say, yep. Whereas if you kill him while the shell is still on him, then the shell goes with him. Alright, so we now have the final Maverick weapon. And more plots. Alright, so now let's go get that last, before we go to the North Pole, let's go get that last heart tank. So, back to the robot junkyard. Up here we go, and the final heart tank. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of here. So we're going to cut this video off here, since we have killed all 4 Mavericks and gotten all the items. Well, except for one, but we can't actually get that just yet, because that's not gotten until the Maverick Hunter stages, which will be coming up on the next part. So stay tuned, and I'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes, alright?